South Texas did something historic in 2020 and again in 2024. We shifted red. The Rio Grande Valley, a long-time Democratic stronghold, voted for Donald Trump. Some counties went red for the first time in over a century. National media called it a political earthquake. We were the front line of a so-called Latino conservative wave. But now in 2025, we have to ask, what did we get in return? Trump told us if Kamala Harris won, we'd face a depression. But the facts show that America went from 2.5% growth in GDP under Sleepy Joe compared to 0.7% GDP growth in Trump's first quarter, directly related to Trump's policies. There has been a 10.8% decline in the US dollar index in the first half of 2025. Its worst drop since 1973. And we've lost 70,000 manufacturing jobs since January. 70,000 manufacturing jobs since January. But that's all a part of the plan, Trump told us. It's going to be painful, but necessary. Because the debt and the deficit are unsustainable. And because other countries are taking advantage of us. Cuts were necessary, they said. And so Trump and the Republicans did. 1.3 trillion were slashed from the safety net. $114 billion were yanked from food assistance. $114 billion. And billions in DOGE cuts to fundamental American programs. And as far as South Texas goes, considering we did vote for this, well, 66% of the Valley families rely on Medicaid or SNAP. Texas manufacturing is down 2.3% since March. Trump's tariffs, that's another $1,200 a year out of your wallet. And gas, still bouncing up and down like Trump's titties after hitting a pothole on his golf cart. But remember, South Texas, it was necessary. In fact, Trump, the Republicans were so serious about tackling the debt and the deficit that in the big, beautiful bill, for the first time ever, they raised taxes on billionaires as a means to raise revenue to shrink the debt and reduce the deficit. Trump even tightened his own belt, raising his own taxes. Even turned down a $400 billion luxury gift from Qatar, saying, if Americans have to sacrifice, so do I. I'm fucking with you, RGV. None of that happened. And that is the punchline to this cruel joke. That for all the shit talking from Trump about the deficit, only you had to sacrifice. Your shit got cut. The billionaires went laughing all the way to the bank. And the deficit is now going to grow another $3 trillion thanks to the Republicans. Now, in a sane world, this sleight of hand by Trump would have triggered a revolution. Angry citizens would have taken to the streets. In our insanely partisan world, however, it's just another heist in a long string of heists. What about the border? Now, this stat will blow your mind. ICE raids have wiped out 75% of workforces in some areas. Farms have produce rotting, job sites frozen, taquerias closed. But because everyone is scared to go out. The RGV Chamber of Commerce said these raids hit harder than COVID. ICE has burned through $1 billion in Texas alone. And Operation Lone Star, that's a $10 billion border cosplay with zero return. So now, South Texas sits in a militarized zone, schools underfunded, workers missing, the economy gasping, and some Trump supporters are starting to smell the roses. But others are doubling down saying, I voted for this. My guest tonight is Noe Garza, chairman of the Hidalgo County GOP Precinct 50. He's here to offer his perspective, and he's earned that seat at the table. Because if we're going to debate the future of this region, we've got to start with an honest accounting of what the last 10 years have really meant for the people who live here. So without further ado, Mr. Noe Garza.